Pittsburgh Steelers talk coming up in just a few moments. But before we do, we want to make sure that you are subscribed to Steelers Talk. Daily Steelers content all year long as we have the offseason covered like no one else does. And we need you to subscribe to the channel so we can keep outputting more Steelers content. We're trying to get to 13,000 subscribers right now at 12,231. Look, we know that there are Steeler fans everywhere in this country, but we need you to represent and be watching this channel and tell all your friends and tell their friends and their friends to make sure they are subscribed to Steelers Talk. YouTube.com/SteelersTV. That's YouTube.com/SteelersTV. The NFL draft is in the books, and now the undrafted free agents are taking stage as the Steelers have some new names that are now a part of their roster for now. We will go ahead and go through those, the Kirkland brand rookies of sorts. And here's where it starts. Let's look at the running back position. Jaylen Warren out of Oklahoma State. I love this guy. And he could be somebody that would make this roster, I think, has a pretty good chance in doing so. 1,200 yards last year for the Cowboys and 11 touchdowns. And, you know, he replaced some really good backs that we've seen over the years from Justice Hill and company to, you name it, Oklahoma State has been a very good running back factory dating back all the way to Barry Sanders, right? Well, Jaylen Warren, with his 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns last year, he ran a 4.55 in his 40 time this past year. And when you already have Najee Harris at the running back spot for the Steelers, you add in Jaylen Warren, I think he potentially could be your number 2 running back in Pittsburgh. I really like the find there, what the Steelers were able to do with Jaylen Warren. I think he makes the 53-man roster. Here's another guy to watch, Mataeo Durant, the running back from Duke. He had 1,200 yards last year, 9 touchdowns, a terrific running back there out of Duke. We'll see if he makes the roster. I think it's going to be a battle between him and Warren for one of those 53-man spots. We'll go over all of these in just a moment, but I want to hear from you guys. Get the Madden scale out and grade the Steelers roster after the draft. A lot of changes. We know how this offense is going to look for quite some time. A lot younger with Kenny Pickett and the receivers that they brought in through this draft. Put a number on it, 1 through 100, how you think the Steelers did with their roster after the draft. Tell us in the comments section. You'll get an ad break while that ad's playing. Put a number on it, how the Steelers did. A couple other names for you. Let's look at the offensive line now. Jake Dixon from Duquesne is on the list, an offensive tackle, as well as Chris Owens, center from Alabama. And then at the offensive tackle spot, they also brought in Jordan Tucker from North Carolina. Here is the current Steelers offensive line depth chart as of right now, and you can see that this group is one that has gone through a lot of changes as of late, and you wonder if any of these guys can make those spots as you see that at the left guard spot and the center spot, those are 3 deep. So maybe when you look at the tackles that they're brought in, somebody could make the 53-man on that end, but certainly going to be a challenge as far as making the 53-man goes with the offensive lineman they brought in on the undrafted free agent front. Now, the quarterback position, the toughest position of all to figure out, right? We are going to be asking this question for quite some time, so why not go ahead and start right now? Who will start at quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers week 1 in September? Will it be Kenny Pickett? Will it be Mitchell Trubisky? Get your votes in. Tell us in the comments section of who the next starting quarterback for the Steelers will be. Not Big Ben anymore. Is it going to be Kenny? Is it going to be Mitchell Trubisky? I think it will be Mitch Trubisky, but I think that Kenny Pickett will start at some point this year. I would wager on probably about halfway through the year we see Kenny Pickett become the full-time starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Mitch Trubisky, I think his time will come to begin, and then we'll see Kenny Pickett down the line. Tell us what you guys think in the comments section, which guy it will be. Speaking of Kenny Pickett. The jerseys are hot off the press already. You can get your hands on these on chatsports.com/Pickett to get a Kenny Pickett jersey. He's going to wear the number 8 there in Pittsburgh. And, Steeler fans, I know you love the jersey options. And for me, anything but those Bumblebee jerseys are really good in Pittsburgh. And the throwbacks that they have, they're going to have all these for Kenny Pickett. These things will be flying off the shelves. Get your hands on them now. chatsports.com/Pickett. Couple more names for you. Donovan Jeter. Yes, Jeter. Common last name. In the defensive line spot from Michigan, as well as T.D. Moultrie, a linebacker from Auburn. And then Tyree Johnson, an edge rusher from Texas A&M, also in one of those spots as well. So you can see that in these undrafted free agents, the Steelers did a good job of finding defensive talent. That seemed to be their priority of what they were looking at when it came to these undrafted free agent players that they brought in at this point. So as you can see there, Donovan Jeter there from Michigan, Moultrie from Auburn, and then Johnson from Texas A&M. Now, we want to hear from you guys. Will any of these undrafted free agents make the roster this year? I'm going all in on Jaylen Warren. I think Jaylen Warren's going to make it. He might be the only one, but that's still better than nothing, right? Let us know in the comments section if you guys think that any of these players will make the Steelers' 53-man roster when it's all said and done. Type Y for yes, type N for no in the comments section. That's Y for yes, N for no. Couple more players at the cornerback positions. Bryce Watts from UMass, as well as Chris Steele from USC. And I want to read you the report on Chris Steele. This is from NFL.com's Lance Zierlein. He's a decorated recruit coming into the USC program who failed to live up to expectations over 3 years. Steele offers adequate size and length as a perimeter corner, but has some distressing moments when his long speed was tested. He plays with clear eyes and decent instincts, but lacks ideal short area burst to stay connected with long-form routes. Steele needs to run well to help that draft stock, obviously, that he ultimately did not get drafted. So, with that being said, with Chris Steele, somebody that was a high prospect out of high school, and with the production lacking in college, that's why he finds himself not getting drafted here. But I would say that maybe that's some extra motivation of sorts. You know that he has some raw skills, some raw talent, but we'll see if he can put it together, if he can take that next step now in the National Football League. And the Steelers are as good as it gets when it comes to coaching up players in the defense, and in particular what they've done with undrafted free agents such as James Harrison, right? Before we go, I want to know, are you guys excited for next season? Once we get past the draft, all of this just flies on by so quickly. The countdown to kickoff is on. If you are excited for next season, then like the video. And if you're not excited for whatever reason, if you're just sitting there nervous, go ahead and like the video anyway. If you love the Steelers, like the video, show your support. YouTube.com/SteelersTV to be a part of what we're doing each and every day on Steelers Talk.